Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So, as we all know, the New York Knicks have been one of the most surprising teams this NBA season, and I, for one, could not be happier for the fan base and the franchise, right, man? Like, the Knicks, when they're good at basketball, it just makes for a better NBA, right, man? With that being said, they are looking to shake things up a little bit more before the NBA trade deadline, try to really solidify themselves not only as a playoff team, but a team that you don't want to see come the first round of the playoffs. So, before we get going on this video and this trade rumor that I've been seeing around, if you guys don't mind dropping that like, 1,000 likes is always the goal. Check out my second channel, Extra Crispy, for daily NBA content over there, and my third channel, Crispy Flakes Plays. Check out some different like gaming stuff, and I got a Pistons My Jam series going on. All that, link in the description below. So yes, there's been 3 players that's been rumored the Knicks are connected to, and to be quite honest, man, they have some good trade assets out there to really, in my opinion, get any 3 of these guys. The 3 guys, Terry Rozier, Victor Oladipo, and the guy that's going to be the focus of the video, Lonzo Ball, because I feel like that makes the most sense. But we are going to talk about all 3. So, first and foremost, man, looking at this Knicks roster, obviously, top-wise, it's pretty damn good. Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, got D-Rose out there, Emmanuel Quickley, who I think is really, man, should be in running for Rookie of the Year. I know LaMelo's going to get it, but this guy should be top 3, top 4, maybe top 5, depending on who you ask. This guy's been an absolute steal for the draft. RJ Barrett playing absolutely fantastic basketball, but, you look towards the bottom, and there's still some really good young promising players that, are kind of like the has-beens of the Knicks franchise. Now, Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, obviously they got like some draft picks and stuff like that, man, but I still feel like these are guys that could still turn things around given the right team and circumstance. That's just not going to be the case with this Knicks team. So I do feel like these guys would be decent trade assets to have out there. For the right player, even you might even be able to say Obi Toppin could get traded away. And it's not that the Knicks should really give up on Obi. It's just that, when you have Julius Randle, who is only 26, I'm going to assume he's going to get another contract with this Knicks team. That is really just going to throw Obi Toppin development weight off, right, man? Unless you want to use him as a 6-man, which might be a pretty good route for him early on in his NBA career anyway. But yeah, so okay, let's look at the first player that I think, obviously doesn't make like the most sense to me, and that is going to be Terry Rozier. They're interested in getting Scary Terry. 83 overall player, NBA 2K right here. Pretty decent contract, about $19 million a season. The reason why I don't think Terry Rozier makes a ton of sense for the Knicks to go for, though, is because I feel like they already have their Terry Rozier, and that is Emmanuel Quickley. Just like that little bit of an undersized guard that can play the shooting guard or point guard position, can bring you, great offense and spurts and everything. And even like Emmanuel Quickley, I think he's 6'3", so he's even taller than Terry Rozier. But he would be a nice player to have. I just feel like some of the other options out there make a bit more sense. So I think Terry, while maybe he does get traded eventually, as this team does kind of like, gravitate more towards LaMelo Ball. Maybe there's a trade out there for Terry Rozier, but I think he should either just stay on the Hornets or maybe just go somewhere else. I don't think the Knicks make a ton of sense. And the other guy that we were going to talk about real quick here is Victor Oladipo. Now, Oladipo may be decent in the short term, especially if you can find like a pretty simple trade, maybe like Kevin Knox in a second round pick or something like that to get Oladipo. Then I think you make that move. But even like with Depot, I don't think long term he would stay with New York Knicks. It just seems like he has his eyes set on like the Miami Heat. So it's a little bit risky right there. I think you can go for more of a long-term solution, which brings us to the guy that I'm going to be focusing a trade on, and that is going to be Lonzo Ball of the New Orleans Pelicans. I think Lonzo has had his best NBA season this year. He's been shooting fantastic from 3. I think I read some crazy stat like he's made more 3-point shots than, I forgot who it was. Oh, Trae Young. Yes, he's made more 3-point shots this season than Trae Young. His defense is obviously good, but what I like about Lonzo right now is that not only can he help this team in the moment, not only is he a perfect fit with this team, but also he fits into the longevity of the team. He is only 23, man. So he is somebody that could essentially be the point guard of the future, be the starting point guard, be the guy that makes plays for others, and you still have Derrick Rose off the bench, right, man? I think he fits in also nicely with his size, his defense. That'd be perfect alongside Emmanuel Quickley going forward. So he is going to be the focus of the trade. And also just looking at the Pelicans in general, this has been a team that's struggled a bit this season. So it would be an opportunity for them to get some new pieces out there. Now, like I said, I don't think any of the pieces they're going to get for Lonzo Ball is going to be like a big time game changer, but at least just something else to try. And I guess at that point you solidify yourself maybe as having Eric Bledsoe be the starting point guard for the short term. But yeah, man, there's been rumors Lonzo's just not being the point guard for this team. While I do actually kind of disagree with that, Stan Van Gundy likes his certain types of point guards, and I just don't think Lonzo fits that mold going forward, especially if the team's been struggling, right, man? So let's try to put a trade together to get this done. Around Lonzo Ball of the Pelicans plus Lonzo on the Knicks. That just feels right. I don't know why, man. I just feel like he has to be on that big market team like that. So Lonzo Ball, 80 overall player, contract-wise, expiring deal. So even if for a second Pelican fans don't think that Lonzo even wants to get back with this team next year, then you obviously want to trade him to get something back, right, man? So yeah, about $11 million in his contract. And the trade to get this done, and it's an expiring deal, so that does take away some of the trade value. You know, that's just kind of how it is. You know, the Knicks are not going to give up any of these top guys right there. I think it would, like I said, you could make an argument for Obi Toppin. I think the argument is definitely there. But even Obi doesn't really fit in with the Pelicans long term because, you know, being a 6'9 forward, that's Zion's position right now. I guess if you want to go the small ball of Obi at the 4 or even at the center spot and have Zion out there, I guess that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be more so a trade of, it would have to be Frank Ntilikina. He'd be part of the trade. I know he's kind of a has-been, but I still think, you know, on the Pelicans, if he can become like a 3-and-D type of point guard, that's perfect for what they need out there. So you have him. I think you got to toss in Kevin Knox. That makes the salary work, and you get, once again, a good young knockdown three-point shooter who can play a lot of different positions out there, play alongside Zion and Brandon Ingram. And I think just because, like I said, I know it's an expiring deal, so I would not give up multiple first-round picks, but for this type of move, man, I would be willing to give up a first-round draft pick. And I think that's a fair trade. Pelicans might be thinking they're getting ripped off a little bit, but once again, expiring contract on a struggling team, you just lose leverage in that case, and you get an unprotected first, 2 good young players that fit in right now, could be role players of the future for that Pelicans squad, and the Knicks get Lonzo Ball out of it, man. So I think this is 100% a fair trade. This is the trade we are going to be doing for the video. So all of a sudden, the Knicks are looking like a lineup of Lonzo Ball, Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitch Robinson. That is a fantastic starting 5. And yeah, Lonzo was, how old? He's like, yeah, he's 23, Emmanuel's 21, RJ is 20, Julius 26, Mitch Robinson 22. That's literally like your next team for like, well, that's literally your team for like the next like 6-7 years. And it all just works so well together, man. I am like a sucker for just really like perfectly formed starting 5s. Anytime I did, like growing up when I would play like 2K or whatever, and I would do like an online draft or even like an offline draft, man, this is how my team would always go. Center was always meant to be somebody that could rebound and play defense. That's Mitch Robinson. My 4 spot would always be that jack of all trades guy. You know, I personally would love power forwards like Rasheed Wallace that can shoot the basketball. Julius Randle definitely fits that mold, but can also, like, you know, post up and play dirty on the inside. And then my 3 spot would also kind of be like jack of all trades. Somebody that could score for you, you know, play some defense, grab some rebounds, make plays for others. Shooting guard would always be a guy that could just light it up from 3 and stuff like that. Man, Emmanuel Quickley definitely fits that. And my point guard would be somebody that could always drive to the basket, play some defense, make plays for others, and that's what Lonzo does. So for me, this is like my Crispy Flakes dream team. Yeah, I'm saying that about the Knicks, man. Shout out to Knicks, guys. You guys deserve it. That is a fine looking roster, man. And then for the bench, you got D Rose, which just works so perfectly with Lonzo Ball. Oh my, off the bench, 2-man mentoring and stuff. I love it. You got Nerlens Noel, who is a good quality backup center. You got Alec Burks, who can be that scoring spark. You got Obi Toppin, who is still your good young player, assuming maybe Julius goes to a different team or something like that. Then you still have that filler player. Then you got other guys out there. You got veterans and Taj Gibson, Austin Rivers, Alfred Payton, that kind of just, you know, if somebody follows out, you still got them playing and stuff, right, man? So, yep, this is the team we're going for this simulation. Let's go ahead and simulate it. Keep in mind, I do an entire season because start today mode does not work. So you can't get the actual rosters now and standings and all that. So it's always nice to see how the team would do completely healthy and everything, right, man? So that is how we're going to do it. But yeah, I think Lonzo Ball, you know, simulate through date on this team. Like I said, can play in the backcourt with D Rose or Emmanuel Quickley. I think scoring-wise, he would probably actually score a bit more. I think there would be some good opportunities for him to score a little bit more. I don't think Lonzo's ever going to be that 20-point-per-game scorer that maybe people want him to be, maybe like his brother LaMelo will be. But I would say, you know, from Lonzo, if you can get 16 points a game, I honestly think that he could be like a 9 and 10 assist guy per game. Like, full on, that's what he could be. and like 5, 6, 7 rebounds and playing some great defense. Kind of like a poor man's Jason Kidd. And I hate using the word poor man. Maybe just like a Jason Kidd type. You know, does a little bit of everything out there, never kills the scoring numbers, but is a great passer, great defender, can rebound the basketball. I think that's a good way to look at, you know, Lonzo Ball's future in the NBA. And playing on the Pelicans right now, I mean, for one, Lonzo is the type of player you want, like, running up and down the court with good athletic players, which you would think he would do that on the Pelicans, but Stan Van Gundy likes to run that half-court set. So I feel like already his talents are not being utilized correctly on the Pelicans. But not only that, he's also playing in the double point guard backcourt with Eric Bledsoe, who, you know, Eric Bledsoe playing off ball, it just sounds like a bad idea. So a lot of times he'll handle the basketball. Then Lonzo is the guy you want the ball in his hands, but if he's not being the main ball handler, then he's not getting as many assists as he could, right? So I think like 16 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds per game with a few steals while shooting about 40% from 3. If Lonzo can do that for this Knicks team, that would be amazing. 48 and 33, which is good for 4th in the conference, assuming we, you know, beat the T-Wolves right here, simulate through date, and we finish the W on the season, man. So we got LaMelo winning Rookie of the Year. Would be fun having both those teams or both those players in the Eastern Conference, you know, maybe some playoff matchups of the future. But we got All-NBA first, All-NBA second, All-NBA third looking like that. You know, not seeing any of our players on there because the Knicks are disrespect. You got Emmanuel quickly, the All-Rookie first team. So that's a big-time W. But yes, 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. And we trade with the Pelicans, who did get the 8th seed, so they managed to get in the playoffs. Let's go to the player stats on the season real quick here, though, man. And we got Julius, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Beautiful. RJ at 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. D-Rose off the bench at 16 and 5. We got Quickly at 16 points, 4 assists per game. Then we got Lonzo at 11, 4 and 6. Okay, the 11 points doesn't really bother me. I do wish the assists would get that up to like 7 or 8 a game, but there's a lot of really good playmakers on the Knicks where I guess, okay, maybe he wouldn't get that. 1 and 2 steals is beautiful, and he shot 34% from 3. I think he's better than that. That's 2K just being stupid. So yeah, man. And then, you know, we got Mitch Robinson getting 9 points per game, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal, playing defensively. Amazing out there. You got some nice scoring and other guys off the bench there. Okay, so I feel good about that. I do think for this, for the playoffs here, I am going to up Lonzo Ball's shooting tendency so he shoots a little bit more. Right now it's listed as a 55. Let's get that up to like, you know, like a 70. Like I still want him taking shots out there and stuff, man. His 3-point tendency is at a 72, so he'd definitely be launching it from 3, and we'll see if that makes him a little bit better in the playoffs. So here we go. First round, Milwaukee Bucks. If we could beat the Bucks, damn, bro. Simulate round. And got them 4 games to 1. There we go. So a big-time move. We got Lonzo dropping 11, 6, and 7. Maybe that's just his range, man. Maybe that's just his range. I don't really know. Next up, we got the number 1 seed Philadelphia 76ers. I do see the Knicks, if they pull off the right move, they could be a team that could make a first-round upset. Getting past Philly, I don't know if they're quite there yet, man. Baby steps, right? But maybe they'll surprise me in the simulate round. And, yeah, we lost in the second round, 4 games to 2. Don't really have an issue with that, man. Like I said, baby steps. If anything, this team would be heavily respected. And, you know, so many young players out there. You could still find a case, though, where maybe a team or a superstar wants to make a trade or sign with them. You could really see that going forward. Even getting, like, some nice veterans off the bench alongside Derrick Rose would be a beautiful thing. But let me go real quick here to the playoff stats, because I do want to see if Lonzo actually played any better when I upped his shooting tendency. All right, got the 14 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists per game. Not bad, man. But, yeah, this is a... I might look at become a Knicks fan. No, I wouldn't do that. The reason I would not do that is because I hate bandwagon people out there where it's just like, I understand if you're a Knicks fan, you don't want bandwagons. You want to be like, yo, Crispy, like you weren't around here for the, damn, I can't even say. There were some bad teams in the past, though, man. Like, if you weren't around for those days, then you can't be around for these days. I totally respect that. But simulate playoffs, see who wins it all. And the winner is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers. So at least you guys lost to the champions. Joel Embiid as the finals MVP, man. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you don't mind dropping that like, give me your trade proposals for the Knicks in the comment section below. Who is somebody you can see them bringing on, you know, before the trade deadline is up. Or maybe they just kind of stick with what they have. Maybe you guys already like the rotation you have going out there and you don't want the chemistry to be thrown off too much. I totally get that too. But thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.